Welcome everyone to this Team Sweden in Canada webinar. The unofficial Team Sweden in Canada is of course the Swedish-Canadian Chamber of Commerce, where I should introduce myself, even though you can see my name is Marie. I'm going to change that a little bit because I have the magic of IT there.
Nice.
And the chairman of the board for the chamber, of course. And with a big group, and the other groups is of course our embassy with Urban Alin, and we have also Business Sweden with our dear Christina Karen. So today we're going to have a little bit of fun. Of course, it's tough times, challenging times for everyone. So it's important to come together and try to learn from each other and you know, share your challenges and share a little bit of the fun that's going on as well. So we are of course blessed enough to have another team with us today, Team Nylander, or anglified Nylander, som man alltid får jobba med när det blir så. So we're looking forward to hearing from their perspective how you are managing and coping with everything that's going on, already having a challenging job. But let me first just hand over. We're going to talk a little bit on the unofficial Team Sweden, and then we're going to hear a little bit from Team Nylander. So Urban, I'm going to hand it over to you to just say a little bit what the embassy is doing and how we're supporting the community in these tough times.
Thank you very much, Lars. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Good, perfect. I am in Sweden at the moment. I came home this weekend, so I'm enjoying the first week of my vacation, and it's wonderful weather here in Sweden. Thank you very much, Chamber of Commerce, for organizing this webinar. We have been working hard at the embassy, helping lots of people to find their way back home to Sweden. As you can understand, there has been lots of people asking for flight advices and passports, and they have lost their passports, and they have a dog that needs some veterinary certificate and so on. So it has been lots of questions, but it has been fun. And as you all know, Canada is an organized country, so it hasn't been that tough as it is in many other countries. I would like to take this opportunity to say a few things about what we have prioritized as an embassy, and I'm very happy to see Team Nylander here. Because when I came to Ottawa, I was asking the first question, how much do we do together with the NHL team? You know, when they are, you know, having a new Swedish player, or are we greeting them at the airport? And people said, no, we have never done anything like that. And I actually said yes to be the ambassador in Ottawa. And the most important reason was that you can watch lots of ice hockey, or hockey, as you say over there. So that is the truth. You know, it's really, I'm a big hockey fan myself. And we have, from the beginning, said that we want to focus on a few things that Canadians, and also for Alex, also Americans, know us a bit for. And that is, of course, NHL. All our players are well known. Wherever I go, you know, people ask about you guys and Daniel Alfredsson and Ottawa and so on. William has a great fan and one of my landscaping guys that are at the residence at the moment.
Wow.
He's really envy. Yeah, he's really envy. And actually, he looks like you, William, too.
No
He
way.
look alike. Yeah, he is. I haven't dared to ask him if he's doing that because he's such a big fan, but he is actually, he pretty much look alike. So I'm gonna tell him very much about this video meeting later on. He will be green.
Great.
Of
Tell him I say hi.
I will say hi to him. Absolutely. So we know that Sundin, Salming, and you guys are doing lots of things that people really like and really showing Sweden in a very good way. So we have said that we want to use that. So we have, in every event, we are doing things that are hockey related. We plan to do a hockey heritage night earlier this year in Ottawa Senators Arena, where we're going to highlight the Swedish players. We were going to play Stiga table hockey games with the audience, having Daniel Alfredsson there challenging the fans and so on, having prizes come to the resident, have a dinner with the ambassador and Daniel Alfredsson and so on. And it was a great interest from Swedish companies and also from from Ottawa Senators. And I would also like to say that Vancouver Canucks really wanted to do this autumn because they have so many Swedish players and so on. We haven't reached out to Toronto yet, William, but we will do. And as soon as soon as the hockey starts, we definitely will go back to do this, because there is one thing Sweden and Canada has in common, and that is ice. So, so that's really important for us to use every opportunity we can to highlight hockey.
Yes.
There is two other things too though. There is the Nobel Prize, which is important for us to highlight innovation. Sweden is a cool, creative society, and that's the reason why we have Nobel as a good figure. And there is also an kind of an important thing here, that Canada will soon buy fighter jets. And you know that JAS Gripen is one of the 3 remaining companies in that contest. And innovation and cooperation between Sweden and Canada is very important there. So that is one of the reasons why we are highlighting very much Nobel, innovation, creativity, and so on. And we are very happy to have people from Ericsson at this webinar, because Ericsson is one of the biggest investors when it comes to technological innovations and research and development in Canada, which is very, very good. And we also have another guy, that's Raoul Wallenberg, that is the first honorary citizen of Canada. And as you know, he stood up for human rights, democracy, and values that we have very much in common with Canada. So that is also something that we always try to highlight as much as we can. But these are 3 kind of goals that we are looking for. The most important thing that the embassy has is, of course, to help Swedes in Canada, helps Canadians to learn about Sweden. We are focusing on bringing students from Canada to Sweden and so on. And there is also another part of it. We are helping all Swedish companies. Whatever problem they have, if they stumble across something that is wrong in Canada, or we can help them in one way or another, we are very eager to do that. And that is part of this webinar, is that how can we build back better when we're coming out from this COVID. So I really invite everyone from the companies, you need to reach out to us as soon as you see that we from the embassy can do something to help you, because we will do that. That is an extremely important thing for us. And I also want everyone here to think that maybe we should focus on, like, say, who are the 10 most important people in Canada that we really should pinpoint? What are the 10 most important companies that we would like to cooperate with more than we do today? Instead of just looking for the needle in a haystack, really focus on a certain areas instead. It would be much, much better. Okay, that was from the Swedish Embassy, and we are one part of Team Sweden, and Team Sweden is Business Sweden. It is the Chamber of Commerce in Toronto, and it is the Embassy working together to do what we can to strengthen Swedish presence in Canada. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Urban. Much appreciated. I am going to hand over to Christina. Christina is she represents Business Sweden, and she will tell you more about what they do. And I am supposed to put up a presentation for her as well, if I can find it here. So why don't you start speaking, Christina, and I will sort that out.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, Ambassador Aline and Lars. And yes, my name is Christina Kieran, and I'm the acting country manager for Business Sweden in Canada. And our office is in Toronto. We share office space with Denmark, Norway, and Finland. But right now I'm sitting in my basement. I've done that for 12 weeks now, where we've been working from home, like so many other Canadians, because of COVID-19. I am going to be very brief, because I feel like I'm standing in between the hockey players and all the interest to ask William and Alex and questions, and Michael as well. So I feel like my presentation might be a little bit boring compared to what they will have to tell you about. But I thought it's important to show you just who Business Sweden is and what we do. You might be familiar with the name, but not exactly what we do. But Business Sweden, or the Swedish Trade and Invest Council, as we are also called, we are a Swedish organization, 50% owned by the Swedish government. We report to Foreign Affairs, and 50% owned by the Swedish Federation of Industries. And as you can see here on the map, we are a truly global network where we have offices in 47 places in most major cities. In Canada, it is in one office, one city, and that is in Toronto. But we also have offices in New York, Washington, Chicago, and San Francisco. So what do we do? Just like Urban Ahlin was mentioning, our mission is to help Swedish companies do business abroad and to accelerate their sales globally, but also to encourage foreign investment in Sweden. And we do that in many different ways. We usually categorize it in 4 different legs or pillars. One being market expansion. We help Swedish company to get to a new market with market information, finding distributors, agents, setting up visiting programs. We can also help Swedish companies that are already established abroad with their sales acceleration or finding new customers, finding new sales channels. And then we have this tie to the Swedish government, and we work very closely with our foreign affairs and with our embassies around the world. So we have great cooperation with our embassy in Ottawa, and we do activities together with them to open the door for companies that might need that. So that could be any type of roundtable discussion or getting in touch with the politicians on the federal or provincial level. And then on the 4th leg there, we have something called business incubation and operations. And that is a very practical service that we offer for Swedish companies, small Swedish companies that are coming to Canada that need help with paying taxes, payroll, paying invoices, and doing accounting. So we have a team that takes care of that type of work. You can go to the next slide there, Lars. And here is our team. There is 6 of us, and we are located in Toronto. I am the acting country manager, and then we have Martin, Claudia, Caleb, Maggie, and Suzanne. We are a mixed team of Swedish individuals and Canadians, and we have been in Business Sweden has been in Toronto for almost 50 years. We focus on a few sectors where we find that Sweden and Canada has a lot of similarities, and those 5 sectors are infrastructure, mining, forestry, healthcare, and consumer products and food. During this COVID-19 situation, we have helped companies around the world with their supply chain and with different sort of emergencies. And we have also produced something called Executive Brief, like a newsletter where we send out to Swedish companies to show where, what is the situation around the world. And I just took a snapshot of one picture here from this newsletter. This shows the impact of COVID-19 around the world. And as you can see, Canada, US, and Europe are the areas that have been most severely impacted by the COVID-19 situation. You can go to the next slide. And here are just some figures that we have pulled together in this report. We do this for every country. These are the figures for Canada. It shows sort of the situation right now and the total cases and fatalities. And I would say that the Canadian government has put a lot of money into stimulus package, and right now $11 billion have gone into wage subsidies and trying to help Canadians in different ways. You can go to the next slide. And yes, so we are helping Swedish companies in Canada to sort of support them with this type of stimulus package that the government is producing. And they have offered a lot of help both for businesses and individuals with tax incentives, wage subsidies. And for individuals, you can apply for something called CERB, which is $2,000 every month for people that have been lost their jobs due to the coronavirus. So yeah, that's just a sample of how we support companies to get that information. I think I'll stop there because we want to hear from William and Alex, I think. So I'll stop right there. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me or any of my team members.
Thank you very much, Kristina. Okay, so I'll just say a few words about the chamber as well, right? The third leg, if you will, of Team Sweden in Canada. So we've been around since 1965, always evolving and sort of adapting to the business conditions. So this is a little bit in our DNA that you have to do that. Although the challenge we and our members are currently facing is quite a bit more than the usual thing, if you will. But in the chamber, we have, of course, our dear executive director, Marie Larsson, who's really driving a lot of our initiatives, which is key. So you can always reach out to Marie, of course. We also have a very, very experienced board of directors and a senior advisory council. We have Lennart from the council with us here today, and I think several of our directors are also on here, Johan Nilsson, John Goswell, and a few others. I'm going to miss some, so I'll just stop right there. But they have tremendous experience in many industries in Canada, right? Food and beverage, legal, finance and banking, telecommunications, healthcare, packaging, automotive, retail, industrial distribution, all kinds of things, right? So really an unprecedented skill and experience. So you're welcome to join. Our members try to share experiences, solve problems with each other, right? That's what we're at. And we also like to have a bit of fun together and doing the social aspects, golf and Lucia lunch and schnapp sampling and a few other things, which is more difficult to do during these circumstances, of course. I also want to say that the Chamber is not a standalone organization, right? We're part of the Swedish Chambers International. And so that's, of course, all over the world and in Europe. And there's lots of experiences to draw there from the pandemic and how you can do the recovery process and how you can do the restart, if you will, right? The Stockholm Chamber of Commerce is now running a very interesting commission. They call it the Restart Commission, and there's lots of good things coming out of that, and we're going to be sharing more of that as we go forward as well, right? I just want to point out one thing, and that is the focus on sustainability and the focus on taking advantage of the restart to refocus and use sustainability when we can. This whole thing now with people working from home more, it has impact, right? Already Swedish companies were very leading in sustainability, but I think there's even more advantages, one, to get recognized for it, and two, also to do more in this area. So that's something we're going to come back with. There will be a webinar series, if you will, in about a month from now under Team Sweden banner, where this will be of topic. Okay, I am going to stop talking about that business side of aspect, which is, however, very important for all of us. And we'll go to our other team who has joined us today. So we're going to talk a little bit to our dear team, Team Nylander. I'll anglify it. I'm switching between this and that here, but we'll start a little bit with Mikael, because of course, Mikael, you have some history with Canada as well.
Yes,
back in the day. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I started playing in Hartford in the US, and we traveled a lot to Canada. And as a young man, it was pretty much my first time in North America. So, you know, I thought, you know, Canada is a lot like Sweden. have lots of good memories from there for sure, and it's great people. And my two sons are born in Calgary, so we have half Swede, half Canadians, William and Alex. So no, I had a great experience over there with the people and the experience just to be in a great country, and we really enjoyed living in Calgary. And now I've been in spending lots of time in Toronto. It's also a great city. It's a different type of city, of course. It's bigger, and it's good experience. And I'm happy that we also had time to spend a year when my son Alex, who's on here, played in Mississauga Steelheads. So me, William, and Alex was living together, and I was coaching Alex's team as an assistant coach. So yeah, just great memories from Canada, and it's been fun.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Both William and Alex are born in Canada. So if we start with William, what's your first memory? Because it must be a Canadian memory, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't even know if I remember anything from Calgary, to be honest. I mean, I only was 2 and we were back there, but I don't know. It'd have to be probably sometime at some game going to watch my dad play. That's for sure.
I have to just say that the first memory that pops out with William was that we were getting back pretty fast after his birth, and we went back to Sweden without a passport. We faxed a letter to the security in what airport was it, in Heathrow, I think. So he went without a passport back to Sweden, and I don't think you can do it today. So that's crazy memory.
That would be totally impossible.
Not even Urban can open that door, huh?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
The old good days. Yeah.
Hey, how many kids can you fit in a hockey trunk and just carry them across the border, huh?
That was kind of fun. So anyway,
that is a good memory. Yeah, and I guess Alex, not too many memories from those days. I mean, the early days in Calgary, but in Mississauga, of course, some memories. So of course you're in Chicago now, but is there something that stands out from your time in Canada?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been in Toronto a lot, especially when I played in Buffalo before Chicago. I would try to visit my brother as much as possible through those 3 seasons I was there, and I really like Toronto and the city, and people are great there. Mississauga was a lot of fun. Obviously, got to live with my brother and my dad, and that never happens. William was playing in the AHL and the NHL, so I got to see a couple of games that season. So that was actually really special, and we had a lot of fun that year together.
Of course. Oh, that's good. And I know I want to spend a little bit of time because you Mikael, you're trying to start with your sons a good initiative to give back a little to the community and engage, right? So you're getting off the ground the Hockey Brothers Support Health and Hope. Can you tell me a little bit how that came about, and what are you guys' thoughts about it, and how's the work going so far?
Well, I mean, in North America, there's lots of donations and charity events that takes place. Sweden, we start to pick up on that now, and during this COVID situation, of course, it was even more important to try to find a way to support the communities, pretty much all over the world. And we had internal discussion where William and I could help out at this time. And there's so many places that you can help out in, but we choose to try to support the people that working, in the front lines during this time. And there's a lot, the doctors, nurses, and others are doing a really tough job, and dealing with this COVID-19 right in the face. And we wanted to support them and show them, that they're doing a good job, and we decided to donate lunches in Sweden for the people who takes care of the older people,
Elderly.
senior citizen homes. So that was really appreciated. And then we did that in Toronto as well, and so it's been very, very good. And we've been surrounding us with great people that has helped us out during this time, and prepare all the meals and deliveries, and even just doing the William and Alex vlog was we're not an expert in it, so we find people that could do that for us. So it's been really interesting times, and it's been I think Alex and William have been enjoying this, even though they've been in Florida during this time in the beginning.
Yeah, because you have family in Florida as well, right? You really spread across the North America and Sweden, Mikael.
My daughter is there playing tennis right now, and then William and Alex ended up close to where she is, and they spent lots of time in Florida.
Yeah, in the old days, it was more tennis was a summer sport and hockey a winter sport. Now it almost goes throughout the year, right? So I guess you're staying busy with.
Yeah, there's no rest days for me anymore. Exactly, summers used to be off, but so no. But Alex and William spend time together there with Jackie, and then they went back to Chicago. So let's see what they thought about this situation.
I think it's really great that you and your sons are starting this initiative to give help. I really like the name of it too, Health and Hope. I think we see a lot of people are getting I don't know, a little bit not maybe depressed, but they don't look at the future with the same optimism as they did before, and bringing back a little bit of hope and bringing back a pat on the back for these people who are working very hard. I think that's commendable. That is great. Me and Mikael spoke a little bit about this in preparation for this meeting as well. And there'll be more things to come out of this. Mikael, like you said, it's not maybe just Alex and William who are brothers in hockey. There's many other who can participate and be part of this going forward. And you also expressed, if any of the Swedish companies here are listening and want to do an initiative, if that makes sense for you, there may be an opportunity to collaborate around an initiative.
Exactly. I mean, it's this was one way to support the communities in Toronto, Chicago, and Stockholm. But there's also pinpoint other places like everybody needs support when they do research for medicine or help schools in Africa. We are because it's the start of this process, and we will be pretty wide in the beginning. So if some company wants to do something that they think is important for them and want to have William and Alex part of it, we of course want to listen to any and all the ideas they could have.
Fantastic. No, that's.
Let me also, as an ambassador, say it's extremely valuable for the branding of Sweden that our hockey players are doing things like that in Canada and other places too. I mean, Sundin has his charity for the University Hospital, I think it is in Toronto, right? And Salming has and the Sedin brothers and so on. So wherever I go, everyone is talking about the wonderful Swedish players and how they contribute to the community. And that is really something good for branding Sweden.
Yeah, I agree.
Fantastic. William and Alex, you've been involved in this as well. I don't want to take away from that. Maybe you want to add something on what you've experienced or what you've seen through your charitable initiative. I know, William, the MLSE has some things going on as well where you have been supporting.
Yeah, they've done a few things, but we thought that we could help out on our own to do something else. I mean, especially I was thinking in Toronto was really important to me to give food to people because they've been hit hard here in Canada where people haven't been able to go to work, and it's been different like in Sweden where people are doing, basically the normal thing. So it was important to me also to find a way to give food to people that are living on a paycheck to paycheck, and now they don't, get any money, and they can't get any food, so, or struggling to get food. So I thought that was one really important part of the aspect, to get food. So we try to deliver like 5 meals a week for 4 weeks straight to families, or like my dad said, frontline heroes that are putting their lives on the line. So I thought that was important, and it's a great way to give back. We were always thinking of somehow and how we could do it, and I thought this was one that really meant a lot and would help a lot of people.
It's a really good job. Alex, thoughts?
Yeah, of course. It was just a fun process all the way, and I think we did a good job. We got a lot of good response, and I hope we helped a lot of people, obviously doing this. And it was important to us, like my brother and my dad said, to help those frontline heroes as they're working 24/7 to take care of everybody. And obviously a situation that we didn't know how it's going to be and stuff like that. And more cases come from in the beginning everywhere, so they probably have been really busy, and we just wanted to help them out. So I'm glad that we did it, and it was a lot of fun actually doing everything together.
Very good.
Have you done anything in Mississauga, because they have also been severely hit by COVID-19?
It's hard to know exactly where the food has been delivered. I know that we have been dealing with some elderly homes here in Toronto, but where the food has been delivered, we went to an organization that knew where families or people were in need, so they would deliver the food. So I don't know if they went to Mississauga or wherever it could have gone.
We can give a little shout out to another one of our members, Volvo Cars. They use their pool vehicles to deliver some food from organizations like yours. I'm not sure it's the one specifically, but just get it to the right location while it's, I guess, still good and fresh directly from the kitchen, right? Which is
exactly
a nice.
Alex and William was not, present in Toronto when we delivered the food there. So I think William was in quarantine, and maybe he was going to be able to catch 1 or 2 deliveries here on the end of this time in Toronto. So it was set up by our team, and it's been doing really well to be able to do this, far apart, and it's still doing a really good job. And we appreciate everybody that supported us in this matter in different ways. So it's been a great learning process for everybody, and of course, it has been a crazy times for so many people during this COVID-19, and I hope everybody gets out of this stronger, of course.
No, absolutely, and I agree with you. Every bit helps, right? And I think it matters more when there's people who are idols, people look up to that help out. So really appreciate what you're doing there. I also like what you said, Mikael, that it's a team effort, right? You have your own skill set and your strength as an individual, but sometimes you need help, right? And the power of a team is what we talk about here a bit as well, right? And of course, being a pro athlete, right? One of our participants, I think it was Jason from Epiroc, he asked this question: what do you as an athlete want from your coach or the leadership, right? To create a team environment. So we can put that to the active players, right? Alex or William, right?
No, I think you want to have a relationship with your coach where you feel like you can go talk to him if you're not playing well, or if he can find a way to help you out, because he benefits of you feeling good and playing well. So if you have a good relationship between your coach and as a player, I think that is obviously really important. And times have changed. Before it used to be so, probably when my dad played, it would be so tough. The coaches were tough on the players. Here, I think it's developing more into where you can talk to your coach and get into discussion about things, which I think is really important.
That's good feedback. Alex, is it the same in Chicago, or is it a more American approach there?
No, actually, it's more the same. We had a new coach this year as I got traded here. So he was new, he was young, and he actually did a really good job by trying to get all the especially us young players that are new, and we wanted us to do really well. And we had a good open dialogue with the coaches, all of us young players. Wouldn't be hard to go in and talk to the coach or anything like that. Like before, like my brother said, like you probably didn't really talk to the coach and you had no idea what he was thinking. And it's good because you always get some feedback here and there and of how you're playing and things that you need to get better on or things that you're doing really well. So I think that's really important as a player to be good every night and just be confident. And it's always nice that you have a coach that you can always go to talk to and stuff like that.
I agree.
We have had some questions in the chat about the initiative. Lots of people are saying it's a great initiative and so on. But some companies are asking also if there are any photos and activities that they could, reach out to you and see how your initiative can be highlighted, into the media or actually by Swedish companies and so on as well. So
it's great. It's the power of a team. There's already someone who's responded with some images, right? So that is.
Oh, is it already?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. And it just came in as you were talking, Urban. So don't feel bad about it. I want to encourage everyone on the meeting that, of course, you can submit questions or ideas or of course here as well, right? But Urban, since you're speaking, I know you had a couple of questions too, so I'll let you.
That's good. It was both Saab and Eriksson who asked and answered the question in the chat. It's a good teamwork between Swedish companies too. I was more curious about what's happening now with the hockey season, and if you have stayed fit and exercised a lot during this COVID, because certainly I haven't. I mean, the idea from the beginning was that during this isolation, I'm gonna eat less, be more, fit. But I realized that it's really hard to do that. It's so boring. So I have gained lots of weight instead of losing that I was. So I'm curious about you guys.
Well, I think we started on your track there for a little bit. We went down in Florida. We went on a little vacation and stuff. But then once we started to hear that the season was going to start, we were playing a lot of tennis and stuff like that throughout the entire time. But then we started going to the beach, and there were rocks on the beach because there were no gyms open or anything. So we were just doing some workouts with some rocks and stuff like that. And then eventually, once the season started to get going, that we were going to start practicing back for Alex in Chicago and in Toronto, we made our way back to Chicago, and we were able to find a gym there and work out there.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping a corner, right? Keeping a distance. Is that how it's?
Yeah. You try as best as you can.
Of course.
A gym that was open in Toronto? Wow.
No,
I don't think they have opened yet.
Chicago.
In Chicago. Okay.
Yeah.
But we spent 6 weeks in 6 weeks in Florida with just playing tennis, doing body workout kind of stuff, and those rocks that we found at the beach, trying to do, and using each other as weight, like squats and stuff like that. So it was different, but it obviously was a lot of fun. We were hanging. We haven't been together like that in a while for that long, so it was obviously we always had a really good time. But it was different.
If I can ask another question that I have been thinking about a lot since I came as an ambassador last year to Canada, because every meeting I go to, the first question, is about hockey, what happened last night, did you see that or that score? And, they talk about Swedish players and so on. And for me, that's really great, of course, but I'm curious to hear your view about why do you think Swedish players are so popular?
That's a good question.
What is it that Swedish players bring to it? Because I mean, it's I think it is Canadian and American players, or of course most of them in NHL, and I think then it's Sweden. What is it now? 85, 90 players are from Sweden or something like that. That's totally amazing.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I don't know.
Sorry, I remember when you started talking about the industry some 10, 15 years ago, people thought the biggest export Sweden had was hockey players. If you look at
that's what the premier in BC said when we talked about export, and he said the best import we have ever had is the twin Sedins. That was the best import to BC ever.
I'm just very happy we don't have any Norwegians or Danish. That would have been awful. I'm very happy that those Swedish.
But why is it? Why is it so, that Swedes are so attractive to come to the NHL teams?
Well, I think, Sweden is a big hockey country. I think obviously people love football back home in Sweden, but I think hockey is one of the team sports that we are the most competitive in at a top level. So they're able to produce, top athletes for hockey, and everybody has a dream to get to the NHL. So I think that's why the best players from Sweden work their way over to the NHL, because that's what they've dreamed of doing.
I also think that it's known that a lot of the Swedish players that come over here they're very skillful. They're very modest. There's a canvas there that we as Swedes, the culture, we're very sort of laid back, both feet on the ground. And if you look right back to BJ or Börje Salming days, I haven't been here that long, so I can go back 40 years. But, you can see there's a common thread there. There's a quality, there's a humbleness, very professional, very, very modest. And I think that's very much appreciated in North America.
It's Christina here. We have a couple of questions in the chat room that I wanted to address. We have a question here from Emma. This is for William and Alex. Which player is your biggest on-ice challenge? Who do you fear the most on ice? We'll start with you, William.
The biggest challenge to play against is what she's asking.
Yeah, the player you fear the most.
Fear, it's hard. I think you fear guys that have the ability to score goals against you. So, when Ovechkin's out there on the power play and he gets a 1-TA, there's a big chance he's going to score with the shot that he has. Other players like Alex's teammate Patrick Kane, obviously very skilled. Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, guys like that, I think are guys that you're worried about when you're out on the ice.
Yeah. I know that you're born into this hockey sort of world, and hockey is second nature to you, but I had a question in regards to the being in the NHL. That must be a dream come true. But what is the biggest challenge? Is there anything that you find very difficult with being an NHL player? Maybe on the ice or off ice, I don't know. But any challenges that you would like to share?
You want me to go, Alex?
You don't have to.
You can go. No, but I think, to me, I don't think that there are too many challenges. Growing up, when you were 15, 16, 17, people were, going to parties and stuff, and you might have to go away to play games over the weekend or go somewhere else. So, at that time, it seemed like it didn't really bother me because hockey was more important to me than to go to a party. So nothing has really been tough for me because I love doing what I do. And obviously you go to the gym in the morning, and the gym might not be as fun, but you know that it's going to help you out when you start playing and you're back on the ice. So, it's an investment into yourself, into the future to become a better player.
Yeah.
Okay. I think for being an NHL player in the first place, I think is one of the toughest job in the world, right? And then also on top of that, being that in Toronto, where so much is around hockey, it's not like you can get a break, William. So I do sympathize that there'll be fun moments, but I'm sure it'll have its challenges.
Of course.
But how do you find the fans in Toronto? You live in Toronto. Is it annoying to be recognized, or are they polite and respectful, or maybe it's a little, but how do you find that?
No, I think it's great. I'm so happy to be in Toronto. I would way rather be in a place where people love hockey and they love the game versus going to play in a place that doesn't like hockey and they're not fans or they don't appreciate the game so much. So here it's so much fun when you see a person come up and he wants to take a picture, and everybody's always super polite. So it's amazing to be here. If you go out and we go for dinner, maybe you'll see how many people are interested in the game and asking about the last game, next game, or like, so everybody's very, very devoted to the team.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure. Toronto is a great hockey town.
Yeah. But there must be a lots of pressure against US players. I mean, we have a small winter home in Florida, and a friend of us is Anton Strålman, who plays at, before in Tampa Bay Lightning. So that's a great team for us. And now he plays with Florida Panthers. But, when you're in Florida and they are playing an away game and you want to go to a bar and you want to see the game on the TV screen, you really need to shout loud to get away with all the baseball and basketball and stuff like that to get the hockey on the screen. But in Canada, everything is about hockey all the time. So, the pressure must be enormous on US players, So isn't that weighing your shoulders sometimes? Wouldn't it be easier to be in Florida playing because, people are out in the beaches. They don't care so much about hockey.
Yeah, that is probably how it is down there, where you can go out and, people don't know who you are or anything. But to us here, we're a very young group. We have kind of grown together here. We were drafted here. We played together, some players in the AHL, and now we have maybe a group of, 12, 13 players, just taking a guess, but that are now in the NHL. So I think we have just grown up in this environment, and this is what we're used to. I was playing in the NHL, and you had fans are the first time I got to Toronto was crazy. First time I've ever been to Toronto after I was drafted, I just walked out of the hotel to go get food at Chipotle or something, and the bus driver pulls out his microphone and he yells, "Welcome to Toronto, William Nylander," on the speaker. And I was like, I'm 18 years old. What is this? This is crazy.
That's awesome.
So, I think that's just been a part of the trip we've taken together as a team, because we're a very young team. So for other players that have come in, it might have been a little bit of an adjustment, but that's just been expected. If I go somewhere else, I will obviously notice a difference, but it's just how it is for me.
We have a question too from the audience about if you start playing now and there'll be no audience. How, I'm sure you've thought about that. What are your thoughts on that environment?
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a different environment, but I think too, in a way, you'll get fans. Watching from at home, and we want to grow the game too, and we know how much sports are missed at this time, so it helps everybody else maybe get through their days to maybe watch a hockey game or a basketball game or something like that. So.
Very good point. Very good point. Alex, would give you some space as well. Any thoughts on that? Empty arenas?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be weird for us players, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be my first playoff hockey, so I can't wait for that and see how that is and how the game changes from just regular season into playoffs. So obviously I've watched a lot of playoff hockey, and it just looks it's obviously the best hockey to play in, and we're finally here as a team and we're in it. So can't wait for that. But it's gonna feel weird, but I'm just glad that everybody obviously misses a lot of sports and stuff like that. So it'll be fun that they can be at home and at least watch us play.
Of course, no. I think we all look forward to that. And I see you're starting your playoff beard already, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Get a head start.
Getting a little head start. How it goes.
It's Christina here. Other than getting a longer hair and beard, what do you think this period have changed your lives? Will it has an impact on you, maybe on a professional or personal level, to these 4 months that we've been living in isolation? Alex and William, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, for example, when we were in Florida and there were talks about maybe the season getting started, we we had no gym. So we were on the beach doing workouts with stones. Like, that's something I would have never imagined myself doing in my life, just to get it into some kind of shape or something. So that was very special. But other than that, I think we got to spend family time with my brother and my sister in Florida. So it was like we were at home in the summer at the summer house. So it didn't feel really that crazy to me while we were there. And I mean, obviously other people have had it worse off, so we're very thankful for the way we've been able to spend our time during this time.
We have a great question from some companies about health and hope as well after COVID. Are there any plans how you're gonna transform it into the situation after COVID? Are there any ideas how you would like to develop this kind of charity even after the COVID?
Yeah, we have, I mean, we've always wanted to do work to the communities, whether it's, you know, donating food, or, I mean, we also called into schools to talk to them, go through workouts and what we do, because they're on their online classes and stuff like that. So, I mean, this was an initial thing that we've always wanted to do something. So this is what it started with, and we're for sure looking to grow it into multiple directions. Where that's going to lead us to, we're not sure yet, because we just started this maybe a month ago. So we're looking forward to brainstorming ideas to where we can go into the future.
That's fantastic.
A good opportunity. It's a good opportunity for the Swedish companies then to also think, you know, how they could support and give you some ideas about what direction you can take.
Yeah, all ideas are welcome.
Yep.
That's for sure.
That is fantastic. We are almost ready to wrap up. Some of the comments that we got back as well. I think Urban, yes, Swedish hockey players do have a very good reputation in Canada. And I think many Canadians have the same in Sweden, that they have a good reputation there too. And it expands.
I can only say, you know, we bought this Swedish jerseys from Hockeyförbundet, you know, and when we at the embassy and myself, I walk around when Ottawa Senators are playing, I have a jersey that says ambassador on it. and the funny thing is, you know, there are so many people coming forward and want to talk to you about, you know, hockey and Sweden and the players and everything like that. So that is the best investment we have done at the embassy. You know, 150 Canadians and lots of people are storming to you when you have that on the arena. And the most fascinating is, of course, when it is Ottawa against Vancouver or Toronto and so on. Oh boy, I mean, it's obvious that for many Canadians, Sweden means hockey, period.
That's for sure. So yeah, we all have a job to sort of hold the Swedish values and etc. high. I think Mikael and William and Alex, you're doing a great job in that regard, and we want to absolutely thank you for that. Of course, keep doing it. Of course, our Swedish companies, many of them are doing the same thing. Many of them are, of course, leading in their industries as you're leading in your sport. And I think, like you were inviting to, there's areas of opportunity to collaborate there under the Health and Hope banner or in other areas. And that's what we're all about, right? We want to work together as a team. We want to connect people that have common interests or common problems that needs to be solved, and try to put effort behind that and make a difference. So I really want to thank you for your participation. And we do have some more questions, and so we'll try to put that up on our LinkedIn forum so we can get some answers on those. And I also want to do a quick pitch that in about a month's time from now, Team Sweden in Canada is going to be back with a sustainability initiative and meeting. So, Urban, unless you have any concluding comments, or Mikael, Alex, or William want to say something?
I'm really happy that we organized this. Yeah.
Really thank you. Awesome. Go ahead. Just want to thank that you hold this webinar, that you were invited, me, William, and Alex to it. It's been a fantastic time, and we are more than we would do it again anytime. So it's been a great experience for us.
Good job, Marie.
And William, we are looking forward to Heritage Night in Toronto.
Yeah, there we go.
We are
No,
coming
let's
to
go
you.
play
When
some
you guys
hockey
are
and bring-
invited, maybe back in 2022.
Yes.
2022.
Let's get the season on the road, shall we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Start there.
Sure.
One step at a time.
Can't wait. Thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
so much.
Thank
Thank you, Mikael. Thank
being
you,
here.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Marie,
Thank
for
you.
everything. Thank you for
Take care.
organizing.
That was awesome.
Bye.
All the best now.
Bye.
Bye.